Hi, society. Welcome back to the Antisocial Planet. Today we are checking out Mushi-shi episode 16, and this one is called something about a serpent? Sunrise serpent, which I don't know how to feel about that. On the one hand, I do like snakes. I am one of those people. On the other hand, last time we had a snake, it was the snake on top of that mountain, and there were some wild things going on. So I just don't know, especially since I feel like with each new episode, I feel more of Ginko just wanting to be able to stay somewhere and exist in a home, and it just makes me more and more sad that like he's just never had that, and I might be getting too attached. In 3, 2, 1, go. I don't know if I'm emotionally regulated enough for this, to be honest. You know, like, it's late enough in the day for me that I'm like, this might be a mistake to give myself an existential crisis, but you know what? I could go and watch the sunset, decompress if I have to. I feel like every episode, I'm like, I just need to go for a walk right now and think about it for a while. I always have so many other thoughts after I'm done an episode because I just take the time to, like, be in my own thoughts for a little while. It always starts off so mellow, too. Not that it isn't a mellow series. I just feel like it makes me question my existence a lot. It's almost like the opposite of when I checked out Ergo Proxy, where it was just like every episode I was trying to wrap my head around all of the different pieces of information and find all of the links. And every time I like rewatch an episode, I'm like, oh, that's what that meant. And this is like me being like, I'm like lulled into a false sense of security, and then they give me an existential crisis, and they're just like, roll the credits. And I have to just like figure out how to be a person again afterwards. Anime, man. All right, what are we doing with this serpent? I have a little bit of a stress response about spring now after the last episode. Okay, so that seems like a mushi. Just asleep in the cherry blossoms? Ooh, I don't like that. Makes me like I can't do anything to like self soothe because of the whole ear thing. I have headphones in the way. Almost too peaceful, one might say. Oh, how on earth will you survive? Make your own food? Well, okay, we shouldn't be leaving our children in places they shouldn't be then. Unsupervised. Unless we're like setting up for something. Are we picking up on things? Like just in case? You think, okay, good, at least she's sleeping. What was that? Did we know someone else who's being forgetful and isn't sleeping well? And we're like, actually, I know someone like that, maybe? I mean, generally it's bad, but I also say that as someone who's a bit, of an insomniac. So, I've been told it's bad, but also, that does not help the anxiety. Oh, are we seeing Mushi now? Oh, or crab. Oh, that would be so scary to like live in that though, to just like, but also like, ugh, it just, I feel like this is gonna also get me my feelings, considering I have also watched someone forget about things. Freaks you out, man. Yeah, that would be weird. Mm-hmm. And it's so hard to like explain any of it because like it's because like in your own head, how do you explain to someone that like their perception of reality is different, right? Interesting. Like she can remember the blocks of color, but not the patterns. Ooh. What a thing to forget about. That would be scary though, if you had no idea what a sneeze was. It's interesting that she's forgetting like the concept of things like that. Oh, that would be so scary though. Like it to forget about things like what a sneeze is or like little right? Like little things like that that's so scary to just like be stuck inside of that. Yeah, don't do that in general. That seems like a bad idea, but also maybe that's just my anxiety again. She remembers his name. That's good. Yeah, I was like, did we set 4 places? Is he actually around? Yeah, I was also where I'm at. I'm like, I hope that this is not a forgetful thing. I'm sensing some tension. Be difficult too, like to have a parent who's like struggling with something that's like scaring you, right? Especially as like a young kid, and to then not have your other parent around to like help with that and think that there's like some correlation between the two things. You seem remarkably chill about that. I feel like he most definitely did. Even though he's like, I don't think so. I'm like, I think you have an idea though, a theory. I think he's trying to figure out what the pattern is of like what she's forgetting about. That's also scary. Like it's frightening to like be like, I know that I've forgotten something. I'm aware that I'm forgetting. It's another thing to be like, I don't remember that I don't remember. Finding the patterns. I feel like the patterns is one of the things. Like she can remember the kimonos with the plain colors, but she can't remember the patterns. That's such a strange thing to like correlate. We also remember how to loom. Same. I don't have a loom though. I wouldn't mind a loom. Mm. Yeah, especially like the warm weather, right? Like it makes everyone kind of drowsy, like they were talking about at the beginning of the episode, right? Are we nodding off? Or is something happening? It's already morning. The shadow's not moving. Yeah, I noticed that too. And she says like, oh, it's already morning. Like she couldn't remember that she was awake all night. Because it was the shadow thing that like went into her ear before, right? Yeah, I was gonna say, I'm assuming it's feeding on the memories. I just don't know why. Okay, trees. Where we fell asleep. And we had her falling asleep, and that's when she got like infected, host whatever, a host of some kind. Mm. So it's why it leaves before like the sun like fully rises. Nothing to be done. I don't think so. We're only like halfway through the episode. Interesting way of looking at it. I'm fairly certain that is not how my brain is organized. Things that you've kind of like built up a lot of, yeah, like the things that you need to continue to function. A theory. Yeah. Like eventually it's gonna run out of other memories, right? Sounds exhausting. I mean, that's very proactive. I honestly wouldn't have waited that long. I would have been too worried. I love the question of like, is she gonna be all right? It's making me like a little bit sad too because like a mother and young son traveling is also very much like a parallel with Ginko, right? Like growing up. And I don't like that we're disappearing into the fog. Coming back a year later. I like that he does like revisit, even if he can't stay somewhere for very long. And he's not here. Oh, okay. Drama. All right. I mean, if you don't think about that all the time, you'll forget about it eventually, which is probably not the right way to forget about it. Like, for someone to be in your memory, like, so much that you didn't forget about them when, like, all of your other memories are being fed on. Like, you couldn't remember your own sister, but, like, you could remember them. That's how important that person was. The actually sleeping? Is that good? I don't know in this context. Like, we didn't sleep for a while, and now we're sleeping, and I'm just, like, nervous. Less than ideal place, but it's a roof. Whoa. Oh, scary. Ooh, the sound design's freaking me out. Hello? Do you even see any of that? Like, I was freaked out and I had like the visuals and the context. You were asleep for days. You seem surprisingly okay considering everything that's going on. And also the revelation of what your husband is like. Oh, did we lose some memories? Like recent memories? Hmm. It's a lot though. Like if she doesn't remember, then it's like you have to like hold that, right? Like you have to hold the truth of what happened and like take care of this person at such a young age. Well, at least she's happy. It's like a bit of a like loop, right? Yeah, are we still setting a spot for him? Because we don't remember. Or we don't remember why. It's just like habit, like muscle memory. That's sad though. Like still like wishing that kind of like prosperity on someone who's like just left and started over. Whew. All right. Gotta be honest, I almost cried there a little bit near the end of the whole like forgetting everything and being what Kaji being such a like young person and having to deal with all of that. Like I was saying, like in the episode, I unfortunately I know what it's like to have someone in your life that starts to forget about things and to then have to like take care of them and see go through the process of them like losing more and more of that over time. And I'm not gonna dig into all that because whew, that's what my therapist is for. But I think that this episode, I think there's a sadness to it because it's not just that you can see reflections of what it's mirroring in this kind of like supernatural setting with like Mushi, but also because there wasn't a like solution other than how do I just take care of this person and make sure that they're happy and make sure that like they live a bunch of their life, right? Like for all of Ginko being like, oh, I think that you going out and living a bunch of stuff in your life is going to help you remember things. She's basically forgets all of it like the next day. I don't think it's necessarily about so you'll remember everything, right? So you'll remember more things or you'll keep those memories that matter. It's more go out and do things because you're not going to be able to think of like someday, right? Or you're not going to be able to think that you have all of this time to like plan things or whatever, right? You can't plan something if you can't remember what the plan is the next day, right? So it's like, go out and live your life and experience those things and have like the fulfillment of that, the things that make you happy, even if it's also with this kind of like loss of memories and self. I feel like so much of who we are is like locked up in the things that we remember, that it's tragic, but it's also like this bittersweet kind of thing, right? Where at least she's happy, at least she has someone who's looking after her, but at the same time you have this young boy who now has to take care of this person, has to shoulder the weight of this other parent, this father that should have been taking care of him is moved on with other people, replaced with a different family in a lot of ways, and that's a lot to have to deal with. But like at the end of the day, the simple things is like she remembers enough, she remembers me, right? And she's happy. So that's enough sometimes to just make sure that this person that you care about, you can make them happy, and that you can see the way that their face lights up when they see you. I appreciate this episode for being something where like Ginko didn't have a solution. Like he just had knowledge of it, right? Like he understood what was happening, but he couldn't fix the problem. And that continues to be something that kind of comes up throughout dealing with Mushi. It's like sometimes they're just like a natural force, right? Sometimes it's just part of life and the way that like Mushi and humans interact with each other, that there isn't a solution. There isn't saving everybody, even if Ginko really wants to be able to do that because of some of the backstory you've gotten for him. But I hope you enjoyed watching that episode along with me. You can click this playlist to go to my previous reactions, or you can subscribe to miss next time I post a Mushi-shi reaction. I will see you in the next video. Bye!